The US Mint launches another 2-coin set with Silver Eagles, and the website continues to function as promised. Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the US Mint's website and the ever-going problems that they have. I want to talk a little bit about this Coin World article, which addressed it from just a couple weeks ago. The article's from August 30th. And I learned a few things in this article that I was not really aware of, things that I'd kind of heard of but were confirmed, not denied, and yet no details were given. So first of all, from the article, we learned that according to the US Mint, 60% of online traffic from users are employing electronic scripts or bots to circumvent the household orders. So this is something that is way out of my technological powers and abilities, right? So I have a hard time comprehending that the average person is actually deploying bots to get extra coins, right? And maybe I'm just naive and everything is a lot easier than I think it is, and I don't understand the coding on the backside or how the US Mint can prevent bots from ordering things. Right. I mean, we've all gone through the different CAPTCHA stuff where they want you to make sure that you're not a robot. If they wanted to, they could change this into just like buying only on the phone. How about that? You want to circumvent some bots? I mean, you have to antiquate things. Only the antiquated would come up with that idea, right? You got to go back in time and say, hey, you got to make a phone call. But by the way, all my good friends who traditionally call in to order, which they've been successful at because very few people call in. I don't know if this was true for this very last order, but over the last year have not been able to order anything. So basically, what if you are blind and you want to try to order a coin? Traditionally, you would call in. So there's the Mint's going to run into some ADA problems with this because they haven't had the employees to answer the phone. They've had some of their because of COVID, they've had some of their employees shut down and not working. So there's a whole lot of strange things in the world right now, right? So this 60% bots thing really blew my mind. So they've been working hard to get rid of that, right? One of the things that I learned about was that, the US Mint has this authorized bulk purchase program, which basically means that there are dealers who are unknown, unlisted, and they can't tell you, who do have access to coins ahead of time. And this to me is disturbing because my understanding with a mintage of 175,000 coins and a household limit of 1 is that there'd be 175,000 coins available for the consumer or the collector or whatever you want to call it. But according to this article, at times they are able to get 5% of the product order for themselves. Up to 10% actually. The ABPP allows participants to place orders that in combination can amount to up to 10% of the maximum mintage of a designated limited edition product. ABPP dealers and are assessed a premium up to 5% more than what is charged to the public for the same product. The ABPP dealers are able to place their orders and pick up their order product a week before the product goes on sale to the public. This is the strangest thing I've heard or read because so traditionally the bulk program was really only used for, my understanding, bullion items, right? So but this is they're talking here about the ability to pick up all kinds of product. So is the US Mint undercutting the consumer for a 5% markup? This is bizarre. Like, why in the world would you do that? Do you not understand how angry people are at the way your process works right now? People love your Silver Eagles. They want to buy them. They want to collect them, right? So try to make it in some way fair. In some way fair. So these articles, so funny. So the U.S. Mint Representative Holben said, offering a percentage of the limited product to the ABPP has helped to stabilize secondary market prices. I just want to let that sink in for a little bit. So by having dealers purchase them ahead of time, it stabilizes the secondary market? Huh? So you have fewer available for the average collector. They can't order them on your website. Now they have to go to eBay or secondary marketplace to buy them, which drives the prices up. If the goal is to stabilize the marketplace, you want your direct consumer to buy these, right? You want market saturation when they hit the market. You want there to be just enough people so the prices don't collapse, just enough product and people. There's like a combination here, because the reality is most of the commemoratives that come out go down in value over time because there's just not the secondary market demand. Now, where that has not been the case is mostly with the Silver Eagle products, which clearly people collect the Silver Eagle like they do the Morgan dollar. It's the biggest coin, it's beautiful, people like it, and they want to get all the varieties. And the US Mint has not stopped figuring out new varieties to put out, right? So you guys can tell me if you think selling a portion of the product off ahead of time stabilizes secondary markets, because I'm not feeling the love on that one, guys. And maybe I'm wrong. I actually tried to think this through in a way that made sense to what he said, and I just couldn't wrap my brain around it. But my brain's pretty small, so you guys can help me figure this one out. The article also goes on to tell us that the new program, since they've improved their website, they used to be able to process 96 orders per second, and now they can process 217 orders per second. Now, this is a little bit like saying that my Sienna can do 120 miles an hour. That doesn't mean that we drive that fast, folks. So this is completely a theoretical number, and I know this is a theoretical number because they can't actually process that many orders that quickly, right? It has the capability of it maybe, but the reality is that the amount of time it takes for an order to go through, it took me 45 minutes to get my order through, which, by the way, I got a lot of work done because I just kept hitting refresh on my computer while I was doing other paperwork. So thanks, Mint. I got work done, right? So 45 minutes, and it took them 2.5 hours to sell out of 175,000 of these. Now, if you're actually processing at a rate of 217 orders per second, you would be done with that 175,000 pieces in less than 15 minutes. And clearly that's not what happened, right? So this has to do, of course, with they may have the processing capability, but the rest of the things fall apart, right? Constant error messages, that keeps popping up over and over again, right? So there's a couple of things that people complain about in particular that I think it's worth addressing, and some ideas that people have. First of all, loyal customers first, right? Loyal customers first. I heard a couple people talk about this. I don't understand this either. The US Mint has a really broad number of people who order from them, and they probably know who's been ordering from them for 30 years. Why is it that these people don't get some type of priority? How is it that they have to sit on the sideline while apparently bots and whatever this, bulk purchasing program is, makes it hard for them, the loyal customer, to get the product, right? So also, one of the things that I think is a solution is something that is known as a waiting room. So in some other orders where a limited supply is coming out for a product, they'll have a waiting room process. So basically what this does is, instead of me sitting there trying to refresh the page for 45 minutes while it gets done, as soon as you go to place your order, you're put into a queue. You're in order, right? So if you and I and everyone else logs on at noon Eastern and we put in our thing, the computer just has to put us into a time slot. And then the computer can process orders one at a time, 217 per second, apparently, right? However long it actually takes, right? But instead of trying to process 100,000 orders or 50,000 orders at one time, it now is starting to process the orders in a quantity that it can handle. So we all log on, and all of a sudden I'm queued in at 48,000 out of 175,000. My checkout time is between 12:30 and 12:40, and there's just a little timer on there, and then I can know to come back and process. I also don't understand, because I don't understand technology, why you can't have something where you process the order, but you don't really process it. Like, I put all my information in, and that information waits to get processed, and when the computer's ready to process it, it processes automatically, right? The waiting room is a little different than that, because I have to kind of know when I'm gonna check out, right? I still have to do some type of a manual checkout. And that probably works to avoid the bots, right? Because this whole time they're trying to avoid bots also. So a whole lot has been made of the US Mint website. They're making improvements, they're working on it. I am not going to be overly critical of the technology stuff, because I don't understand all of it. I will say I was shocked to find out about the bots. I was shocked to find out that the authorized bulk purchase program is still going on for, apparently, for all of the products, some of the products. And the fact that they claim they can process 217 orders in a second is a little misleading, So hopefully the US Mint will actually start to straighten some of these things out, because I've talked to a lot of you guys about this, and none of you like the way they do things. There's just, and to find out there's more things that they're probably doing wrong is really troubling. So let me know your thoughts on this, and maybe we can collectively get to the US Mint and say, hey, can you maybe fix one or two things and make this better for everybody? All right, guys, thanks for watching. I've been the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.